Wasn't there a story about how you got into medical school?
Oh yeah. You know, we didn't have any money.
Right.
And I went to my family doctor. He was a little guy this big. He was a pediatrician. And he says, I told him, you know, how am I going to get into medical school? I didn't have any influence.
This is after you went to Pitt.
I was finishing medical school.
Right.
Finishing
Undergrad.
And I wanted to go to medical school. So he says, I'll talk to Falk. Now Leon Falk gave a tremendous amount of money to the University of Pittsburgh. And Leon Falk's wife was a friend to Dr. Lebo's wife. So he says, I'll talk to Falk. So I didn't have to talk to Falk. I had to talk to this woman whose husband was a partner with Falk.
Okay.
So I got to see Falk. I had an appointment, and he says, I don't help Jewish boys. Oh.
Was he Jewish?
Yeah. I come back. Come in.
Oh. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I knocked on the wrong room.
Oh.
Sorry to bother you.
No problem.
He's Jewish.
He was Jewish, but
He didn't like to help.
I went back to Lebo, and I said,
Was it hard for Jews to get into?
at that time, yes. We were the first big Jewish class. We had 8 boys in a class of 50 men. We had a couple girls. We had 3 girls. But Jewish boys were unheard of. You got 1 or 2 boys in a whole class of 50. Well, we had 8 boys. So I went back to Lebo. He said, you don't take Jewish boys. He says, you think he's the only fish I know? He called. And he called up a Dr. Price, a goy. I always say he was 10 feet tall. He was president of Children's Hospital. And he knew him. He was a pediatrician. And he got an appointment for me with him. So I walked in for the appointment, and he says, how are you going to pay for medical school? I said, well, I have money put away for it. Yeah, $5 I had. And so when I go back to Lebo, I says, well, he didn't say anything. He just asked me if I had enough money to pay for tuition. He says, you're in. And I was.
Wow. And you got married to Bobby after medical school?
Yeah, I was in my, finishing my 4th year, medical school.
So how did you end up paying for medical school?
Worked.
You worked hard.
I worked.
While you were in medical school, you worked?
I used to get up 4 o'clock every morning and go down to produce yards and work carrying those 100-pound sacks of potatoes. And did that. I did that for 8 years, actually.
While you were in college also?
Yeah.
You had to pay your way through college also, or?
Huh?
Did you have to pay your way through college or
Sure.
college?
But medical school was much more expensive. As it turned out, they said $500. Who had $500? And but I managed. My mother always said, we talked one time, I couldn't talk to my father too much because he'd come home from work. He'd work all 4 o'clock in the morning. He comes home 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He's tired. So he eats and he goes to sleep. I talked to my mother, and I said, you know, we were talking about what I would like to do. And I said, you know, I'd like to be a doctor. I said, I know, but we can't afford it. She says, we'll find a way. And we did.
Were you closer with your mother or your father?
Well, I was closer with my mother, although I worked for my father. But, you know, she was, you could talk to her. She's wonderful.
They both grew up in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, my father came to Pittsburgh when he was 14.
From where?
Gubernia in Lithuania.
Lithuania.
And my mother
He came by himself, or he came with his family?
No, he came with his mother and a couple of the siblings. His father had come 2 years before with some of the siblings.
And they came straight to Pittsburgh?
And they came to Pittsburgh. They had trying to remember. They had some kind of a relative who was in Pittsburgh who vouched for them. Because you couldn't go in just and say, I'm going to go live in Pittsburgh. You had to be vouched for. With my mother,
and he worked in the store. He, your
that was
father
Shannon's.
came, right? That was Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, your Flom, Big Zadie Flom.
Yeah.
He came when he was younger, right?
Yeah, he came. He came 2 years before I did.
Oh, Big Zadie came before you did to Pittsburgh?
My father came 2 years before, and then after they saved up enough money, he sent for my Bobby and me and one of the other kids.
Wait, sent for you? What do you mean he sent for you? Where were you?
I was in Europe.
You were in Europe?
Sure. I was in Lithuania.
You were in Lithuania?
Sure.
You didn't grow up in Pittsburgh?
I grew up in Pittsburgh, because I was 14 when I left Europe.
Wait, where were you born?
In Lithuania.
I didn't know that. Wait, so you were born in Lithuania?
Gubernia. Yeah.
And you came when you were 14?
14. And he taught himself English. And he taught himself to read and write.
Your father?
My father. And in the meantime, when he was 16...
Wait, so I'm so confused. Your father came when he was 14?
Yeah.
And you were born in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Okay. Your father came when he was 14, and he taught himself
to read and write. He opened up a business.
The store?
A store.
Okay.
And he...
When did he get married? When did he get
so
married?
when he was 16, he met my mother. At 17, they got engaged.
And your mother was also grew up in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, but she was 16 or 17 when she came to Pittsburgh.
From from
Romania.
From Romania.
Batashan.
Okay.
And
What was the family name?
Leibovitz.
That was Leibovitz. That's how you're related to Aunt Annie.
Yeah, well, Uncle Benny was a Leibovitz.
Oh, Uncle Benny.
Uncle Benny was
Uncle Benny was your uncle.
Was my uncle. He was a
He was Bobby Flom's
Bobby From's brother.
Okay.
So she had Benny, she had Joe, she had Simon, the three brothers. Simon died early.
And they all came to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, because the uncle came to Pittsburgh first. That is my Zadie's brother.
Your Zadie's brother, okay.
Yeah, my Zadie's brother came to Pittsburgh first. Actually, he started the Knesset Oil Shul.
In Oakland?
No, in
Where?
East End.
Okay.
Originally, it may have been up on the Hill District, but he started that, and a brother came in, one of his brothers was a grandfather to Florence Lieboff. Florence is.
Florence, okay.
He was a grandfather to Florence. And there were 4 brothers. One was the bum. One was the, one was the rotten tomato. And then when my mother's father, that was one of the brothers. So they came to Pittsburgh.
From Romania.
From Romania. And my father was courting my mother and proposed to her on the lake.
Both of them, they spoke English to each other?
No, probably spoke Yiddish.
Yiddish, okay. On the lake.
And there was a lake in Shanley Park. So he was on the boat with her rowing, and he proposed to her there. So she started going to.
How old was he? That was when he had already started a store?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was working for somebody else then.
Okay.
Huckster. And he
did he have a flam personality?
No.
No.
My mother had more.
They came. Well, this was before the First World War, right? They came before the First World War.
Yeah. And
why'd they leave?
Europe?
Yeah.
The family all left.
So Europe wasn't bad then already.
Well, it was getting bad. It was getting very bad. So they all left before any big problems were there. See, with Steve's parents, they had to keep running.
Right.
They were always running away.
They were coming from Poland.
Yeah, they were from Poland. They kept running away.
Right.
From Russia, from Poland, because they were, I guess they were involved with the goings on in Europe. Actually, Bobby Flom's parents Bobby Flom's parents were from Romania, and they and Uncle Jaime, which was a brother to somebody, he was a brother from Bobby Charnon's side, and they were communists. Mm-hmm. And as a result,
they were from Russia.
I don't know where they came from,
right?
But they were real communists, and they didn't call them communists. They called them socialists.
Right.
And when Jaime had 2 boys, and Jaime, as I say, he was a socialist, and his brothers were a little more communistic. And he was a paper hanger, hang wallpaper. And the one brother who what's his name? He was a real communist. And he had two daughters. They live in a son. The son became very frum. Lives in Milwaukee, I think. And the Army lived. No, the boy's father. What was his name? He went to work in a fruit store in Milwaukee.
Right.
And he heard a noise. He was working in the back cleaning vegetables and all that. And he heard a noise in the front. And he looked out. The guy shot him.
This was by the store?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In Milwaukee.
Right.
So the son, I can't remember his name. He became frum.
Mm-hmm.
He still is frum.
And he still lives out in Milwaukee?
Huh?
He still lives out in Milwaukee?
I don't know where he lives here. Hello? How are you?